So talk about the draft process. So what is your agent telling you? Where does he think you're going to be projected, or if you're going to be drafted, or do you think you're going to get picked up as a undrafted free agent?
Yeah.
How did that work?
It was kind of a lot of the both. Like same thing. Like you can possibly go it's definitely 6th or 7th round, especially only just playing 1 year of football. And he said you could possibly get Philly, Baltimore, more so like the East Coast teams. Maybe free agency. With the Chiefs. So the one team that I wish I would have had deeper conversation
tell it
was
all now, Rashad. Tell it all now, brother.
Dallas Cowboys, man.
Okay.
That's my team. My grandmother was a big fan of them. That's why I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, because at the time I was the only child and her only grandchild and grandkid, and we would always watch football together. So that's kind of like a remembrance of why I like the Cowboys. People always ask me, "Are you from New York? How do you like the Cowboys?" I mean, yeah, exactly. Grandma
got me here.
You can't say nothing about my grandma. Don't say anything. Don't say anything about my grandmother. But he was saying 6th, 7th round. Like I said, Philly. I met with Philly about 2 or 3 times. So I kind of felt like it would possibly be a Philly or like I said, San Fran, and then KC was kind of like those were like the 3 teams I really had a lot of conversations with.
Okay, so draft day comes. Where were you?
Sitting in my mom's apartment, hot.
Mom having air?
It was about 20-something people in there. Small apartment. It was it's smaller than this room. It was small. Mom, dad, brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins, girlfriend at the time, Blair, current wife. She was there. We were all and at that time, it got more crowded. I would say the 3rd or 4th. Because that was back when the second day. Because that was back when the draft was 1st, 2nd, and 3rd on one day. Yeah. And I think it was the remaining. 4, 5, 6, 7. So the second day is when kind of like everyone kind of started coming in, and we were just all sitting there watching the TV, just kind of hanging out, and yeah.
So what 6th round?
6th round, yeah, 201, 6-201.
See, I love it. Those things that will stick in your mind for the rest of your life, that you'll never forget.
Yeah.
6th round, 201st pick. And when they called your name, so let's go back. The 201st pick, with the 201st pick in the 2007 NFL draft, the
Philadelphia Eagles
select Rashad Barksdale.
Yeah.
What was that feeling like?
It was, as you know me, I'm a laid back person. I was how you see me now is kind of how I was when it happened. It was more so my family, the one that was going crazy, shaking me and all that stuff. It's a moment where no one can ever take away from you. It was like I still think about it, But yeah, it was. I think I want to say it was at the time. The DB coach might have called me first, and I spoke to Tim Johnson and Andy Reid.
Okay.
It was. They called you first, and then that's when you see your name on the ticker.
Man, that gave me goosebumps, man. Just thinking about. So, in that process, draft day is over. You've gotten drafted. What's the next thing? You got to report to the.
Yeah, it's quick. Like
next day, couple days.
It's like next day you're gone.
You're on a plane next day.
Yeah,
to Philadelphia.
You get your stuff and you're gone. I mean, it's not much. You pack a bag or two. You can't even really pack that much because you still don't know how long you're going to be there. So people don't understand how cutthroat the professional sports is. So when you're going there right after the draft, you're going there to just meet with the team? Well, it was like the mini camp, OTAs kind of type things. you're living in a hotel and you're just working out.
So it's a little bit different nowadays the way you do it. You guys go out and sometimes they try to hammer out depending on what round you get drafted, they start working on a contract right away.
Yeah. Well, the contracts at that point came a little bit like towards later. You don't just go. Those are probably the big guys.
Bigger names.
Yeah.
Rounds 1, 2, 3 probably.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. First day guy.
Yep.
Okay, so what advice would you give to any high schooler, athlete, but in particular football, and college player? If there's anything that, in your journey up into that point where we are right now, lessons learned that you want to pass on, one strong tidbit from each level, or what would you tell them?
Man, I actually thought about this because I figured you would ask something like this. Invest in you. Invest more time in you. Like, not saying to put yourself first before other people, but what I mean by that is, like, if I can go back and do it again, I want to invest more time in film. Like, not just thinking, like, the times I've got cut, I'm like, it's okay, I'll get picked up again. No, it's
taking it for granted.
Yeah, taking things for granted. But watching more film, investing more time in, like, the off season, like training, like spending money, working with a trainer type of thing. I didn't have any issues really with, surrounding myself with the right people, but that's advice I would obviously give to not even if you don't make it, just kids in high school and college, like, surround yourself with the right people.
Right.
You can still have people. I got a small circle. You could still have bad apples in a small circle.
True.
So keep yourself around those like-minded people that have your best interests. Really, that's not to get too deep into anything, but just invest time in you. Keep the right people around you, and man, just that's all I really got.
So how many stops? You talked about getting cut, which is a hard thing. I imagine now is where you are in life right now. You look at it as, even then, a blessing.
Yeah.
And opportunity that's millions of people would love to have.
See, I didn't even think about that at that time. It was like I said, for granted.
Man, I wish I could have an opportunity.
Yeah.
How many stops did you have in the National Football League?
I was drafted by the Eagles, and then after camp, I got picked up by the Chiefs.
Okay.
After the Chiefs, I went to the New York Giants. After the New York Giants, I just shifted and went to the Jets. After the Jets, I went to Arizona, and that was it.
So, of those teams, which team did you have the best experience with, and which team did you have the least?
Best experience, oddly enough, was the New York Giants, being a Cowboys fan. I'll give credit to Coach Coughlin. Everyone was treated the same. No one was treated any different. Like, Eli was treated the same way the last guy in the practice squad was treated. Anywhere from cafeteria people were all nice. Everyone was the same, which is what you want in a team.
Right.
So just interacting with the players and learning, I learned a lot from being with the Giants. Worst experience, man. I would probably have to say KC was tough. KC was tough.
We talked about
that. Even though they gave me the opportunity to, be the first U-Albany player to actually get dressed and play, but just being a record, not only just because of our record, we were like 4-12. That's never really been a part of a losing team like that. But just the whole, how things were going, like as far as like, you talk about the Giants, everyone's treated the same. It was totally different in Kansas City. You got your vets treated different than your rookies, which I get to an extent, but I don't. We're all professionals.
Who was the coach there? Was it Marty Schottenheimer?
It was Herm Edwards. Yeah.
Okay.
Herm, I wouldn't say Herm was my favorite coach, but he's a really good person. Like his message about football and life is knocks out of the park, but it just coaching style.
Right.
You know, it's just different. Where Coach Coughlin got everyone to buy in and to play for him. Like you didn't want, you didn't want to mess up because you knew he was gonna curse you out. I remember I tell people we were stretching, you know, just doing the legs, you know how it's leg stretches, and I was getting loose. I'm just getting, Barksdale, get your leg higher, like scream. I'm like, dang, coach, I'm trying to get loose. But he was like, he critiquing like all the little things like that. So, but it also is the type of, you got to have those type of players who can take criticism like that.
Right.
Because you got, even like nowadays, and we talked about how we coach, some kids just can't handle that. Some parents can't handle that. But then the parents and the kids that can, they see and they understand.
Yeah.
Understand
You're
that.
absolutely right.
Yep.
You're absolutely right. So let's talk about today's NFL. What are your thoughts? I mean, you know, watch some of the playoffs. Right?
Yep.
I really think that this year's playoffs, some of the best football I've seen.
Hands down.
Like as a whole, as an entire season, some of the best football I've ever seen in the playoffs.
Yeah.
What do you think about the overtime rules?
I like it. The rules, I've had this discussion. And I've even posted it on social media and gone to war with a couple of people. But the rules are the rules. So I like it. And then this is why I like it, because the overtime coin toss, that doesn't decide the game. That doesn't. It's just like any other sport. It's like the coach says, we didn't lose the game. That play didn't lose the game.
Right.
Other plays lost the game. That coin toss did not lose you the game. You know, things that you could have done to...
A lot of mindset for a lot of players, that's exactly where it goes.
Yeah.
They'll probably get beat.
Yeah.
If they think, lost the coin.
Yeah, it's kind of like, and my debate and how I kind of look at it is, everyone's saying both teams should get a chance. To me, that's like parents nowadays are saying everyone should get a trophy.
Right.
He deserved the trophy just because. If you cannot stop the other team from scoring, why should you get a chance? Now, they do get a chance if they kick a field goal. But if they score, the game is over.
Right.
You know that going into the week 1 of the season. Now you want to change it or say it should be different because it's the playoffs.
I agree with you 100%. Yeah. I have the same stance on it. And in the what was it, the San Francisco game? It was the KC game. Yeah. The KC game.
In Buffalo?
No.
Oh, the one just yeah.
You know, Mahomes wins the toss.
Yeah, everybody was
defense still gotta play defense.
What's the saying in football more than likely? What wins championships?
Defense.
Defense wins championship.
And it definitely did yesterday.
Exactly.
So, the whole thing that both offenses should touch the ball, I don't agree with that. You know, because you have the defenses can score, can make plays. Even if they don't score on that play, they gain possession of the ball and give their offense a chance to make. So they've got to make plays too. And that's
like you said, as a mindset, as a defender, if I go out there, the first, you know, if I'm on the Bengals, Chiefs win the toss, the game is not over. I mean, who says the game is over just because he won the coin toss? Hey, there's no strategy in winning a coin toss. Heads or tails, it is what it is.
And I'm glad to hear somebody younger than me think like that, because I haven't lost an overtime game. I don't know if I've even played or coached in an overtime game in my 15 years of high school here in Indy. But I got this saying from DeAndre Davis. It don't matter if it's platinum or white. It don't matter if the defense or the offense. You know, we still playing. We got a chance to win.
And a lot of people on social media have even made the saying of, hey, it should be the same in college, or because it's in high school. So I said,
football.
Exactly. You dealing with professional athletes. I even made I made the comment of, here in Indiana, there's no shot clock in high school basketball, but there is in college. So what? There's one in professional and NBA too. So there's no implement that you should treat it the same because football, 1 foot rule. You got to make the adjustment when you go to the pros. There's different levels to where you're at in the game. So it's.
So you mentioned earlier, just a second ago, about participation trophies.
Mm-hmm.
You have 3 kids, 3 young kids, and they're starting to compete. Well, your oldest Cam, he's already competing. How do you feel about, hey, you show up and we want to make everybody, appreciative and keep them coming back and give them a positive experience. So we're going to give them a trophy for showing up. How do you feel about that?
He's had situations where he's gotten trophies and we'll kind of let him hold on to it for a little bit, but there's been times where we've gone through them and we don't need this, and we've gotten rid of them because
you drive home and you hold it till you get to a block from the house.
I want, Blair and I are both from, athletic backgrounds. She played volleyball, I played, like baseball and football, pretty successful, and both of us pretty successful, but we want him to understand that showing up is just not good enough. Like you gotta do more than just showing up. Right. That's where the issue is. Hey, everyone should get a trophy, this and that. I don't agree with that. And he's kind of getting there. He's getting kind of understanding that whole concept of things. So I think the younger kids, when they get there, like you said,
Cruz has he participated in anything where he's gotten?
I don't think so, but he's at that stage where I think he would enjoy that. And so he's 4 years old. Once you get to the whole 10, 11, I think that's when that whole thing needs to kind of cut out. Like,
so you're not saying don't ever do it at any age, but there should be a cutoff.
I think there should be a cutoff. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you think about a 3, 4. Kids like to be rewarded. They like to be rewarded with things. So, and then I think it's the parents' job though to teach that kid the older they get that, hey, you're not always gonna get something. It's just like, hey, you're not, just because you go to the store don't mean you get a toy.
Right.
Just because you're playing sport doesn't mean you're gonna get a trophy, because and just like life, there's a winner and there's a loser.
Right.
Losers don't always get trophies, but we kind of teach our kids,
right?
Even though you lost,
society.
We're gonna give you something to make you feel okay.
So, you mentioned your wife Blair. Talked about she plays sports, volleyball.
Yep.
Kids play sports.
Yep.
You play sports. How is it in the household? Is it like, okay, we do stuff,
it's
sports stuff outside of here, but is it competitive here in the house?
Competitive.
You and Blair really competitive?
I'm like the laid back competitive person where
she in your
I would kind of like say things that gets under her skin. Or Cam is probably just as competitive as both of us, but he gets it like a lot of it from Blair. Like he's really into it. Like he hates to lose. Like cannot stand to lose.
So Blair just can't stand to lose.
Even though we play like
is losing, or is it?
It's losing to me.
Okay.
It's losing. It's majority losing to me. Even if we do knockout, it is. But he hates losing to like just to me, and I'm at that point now in his life where I don't take it easy on him. He's gonna learn how to lose. Right. But I tell him you're not always gonna win. It's impossible. I've lost. Jordan has lost. LeBron has lost. Kobe. Everyone loses, but it's what you do following a loss, because you're gonna learn more from a loss.
Right.
If you win your whole life, you're never gonna correct anything. For what? Because you've always won. But yeah, it's from Uno, from bingo. It's you name it, anything. It's like. So
is your or your siblings and your mom and dad, or are they as competitive as well?
No, my dad is kind of like me. Like, he's competitive, but it's my mom. My brother's pretty competitive too. I would say my mom is the most competitive at.
Really?
Yeah. She's pretty competitive. When
so
we play cards,
like at Thanksgiving and Christmas when y'all go back to Hudson or they come here and Blair and your mom in the same room?
We never really played like.
Really? I tell you what.
I don't think we ever
played. Me and Lacey would bring this setup back here and just set up and watch y'all go. I want to see Blair, your mom, you and your dad, your brother, everybody. The whole bar.
But it's really trickling down to all of them, the kids, because just the other day they were playing a game together, and it was kind of like, it's a game where it's kind of like bingo. It's like a bingo board, and you got pictures on it, and they come out like a slot, and if you see it, you got to say it. And Callie and Cruz said it at the same time because they both had it. And they rock, paper, scissors for it. They got rock, paper, scissors for it. And then it happened again where Callie said it, but Cruz didn't have it. But Cruz was like, no, rock, paper, scissors for it. But he didn't even have it, so he just wants to.
He's going to bully his way to a win.
He just. So it's to a point, like, we have fun, but it's also like, man, I don't even want, like, we can't even play a game in peace because it becomes so hostile. So hostile.
Well, you know what? We're going to bring Blair in here.
All right.
And we're going to see what she says and see how this whole family dynamic of you guys been together for a long time. And you met in college, right?
Yep, met in college.
So we want to see. We want to hear
in the Burger King.
Burger King. Oh,
Burger King. Burger King. Yeah.
CrossFit.
Yeah.
Oh. So, in all your competition, you just can't stop. You're born to be competitive. So you transition out of football. I know you work out like a beast. Ever since I know you work out like a beast. What are you doing now?
So right now I'm currently doing CrossFit. Been doing it consistently for maybe about 4 years.
Okay. What got you into that?
I needed to do something. I needed to stay active. I told myself when I was playing football, when I'm done playing football, I'm going to eat when I want, drink when I want, whenever I want, and I did it and exploded.
You like that?
Like I'm standing like in the mirror. I'm standing like looking at standing.
Like I do now.
Yeah, like Blair, like Blair, like I'm like. I'm fat, right? Like,
we
have
another baby.
But just didn't like it, how I felt, like, overall. So I decided CrossFit, and I just started seeing results, and it's competitive, and I had a discussion with somebody not too long ago that CrossFit is probably the most challenging sport I've ever done. It tops football, hands down. It's mentally challenging because it's, especially for me, from my background, being an ex-professional athlete, and maybe being in the gym with someone who played in high school, and they're good at they're not athletic, but they're good at the movement. That's the thing about CrossFit. You don't have to be athletic to be good. You could just be good. Like, you have a good engine, you could be a good runner and just move fluently. And me, I'm like, I'm an ex-professional athlete. I can't let him beat me. So yeah, I love it. It's addicting. It's, there's more things, there's worse things out there to be addicted to, but I love it.
So you just got done 2 or 3 weeks ago with Wallapalooza?
Yeah, Wallapalooza down in Miami.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk about that experience.
It was great. So if you don't know about CrossFit, it's not only just working out, it's really a fitness community.
Okay.
Like, here I am in Indiana, I've been down to Miami, and just through like social media, you meet people and like you see them for the first time, and you keep in touch and you build the relationships, network, and it's just like, it was a 10th year, and like I said, it was just community. It's just one big community, and it was great. Just competing against other people. Kind of seeing what you got, because you can't can't be content with CrossFit.
Right.
And we had a swimming event, and I told you, like, I swim good enough just to get through. And I kid you not, and I'll even say it on camera. I did it 2 years ago, and you know what got me through that swim?
What's that?
My pride. You know what I was telling myself? They already think we can't swim. They already think we can't swim. So I can't.
You're right.
Yeah, I can't let them. I can't give them a reason. So I just kept swimming. You know, backstroke, whatever I need to do. But it was much better this year. I think I was like the third one in the water. We had to swim about 200 meters, which was after rowing too. We had to row.
So describe the circuit. How many?
So the competitions was on Thursday to Sunday.
Okay.
And each day you got 2 workouts. So you can have one in the morning, and you can have like a 4-hour layoff or just an hour layoff. And there was maybe like 20 or 30 divisions, from like scaled athletes, elite athletes, RX, intermediate. They even have people like in wheelchairs.
Okay.
Do all types of things. So it's a long day. But you gotta take care of your body. So yeah, it's been adjusting. I mean, 4 years in, and I'm still learning things, which is why, you know, I want to keep going, because you would think after 4 years or something you would have it down, but still there's plenty of weaknesses out there.
So how often do you work out? I mean, like when you train?
Yeah, I try to train at least 5 or 6 days a week, maybe about for a couple hours, you know, a day. If I can't get something done, you know, in the morning, I'll try to go in the afternoon just to do something. Being 37 and doing CrossFit, you know, the older you get, we always tend to forget you got to stretch. You know, try to do more stretching, mobility, and all that stuff. So, yeah, I'm in there for about an hour and a half, maybe 2, and, you know, working out with people. I'm working out by myself and just trying to get better.
And even with CrossFit and work and family, you still find time to do athletic development and coach football players? Yeah,
absolutely. You know, Blair and I, we're busy. Like we've even been like critiqued, like, you guys are too busy. But that's just kind of like, we make it work. That's who we are. You know, if I got to work out 5:30 in the morning, I'm probably gonna do tomorrow, just because Cam has basketball practice, and then I got to train over at Westfield, and she may have a practice. So we make it work somehow, some way.
It's impressive, man. I'm telling you, it's impressive. I mean, y'all are that family. I only know one other family, and we're gonna interview them and down the road. But y'all work out and are competitive, and it's actually part. I think from the outside looking in, it's like that's part of the cohesiveness, because she can coach volleyball and you can do CrossFit and, you know, train football players. Y'all are in the same space but not in the same space, if that makes sense. You guys are thinking, headed down the same path, working with young people, you know, and then that, you know, translates down to the kids. So I think it's fantastic. Y'all
appreciate it.
Super busy. So we're gonna bring Blair in,
all right,
and get her side of the shenanigans.
Sounds good.